I'm Mr. Soderbeck. I am the director of the College and Career Center here at Vista High School, and this is all part of Career Weeks, where we're doing career explorations, looking at different programs and different jobs all throughout the industry to find out, kind of what are some things I could choose going forward into the future, right? And today I have Miss Via Cortez from Palomar College. She's here to talk about apprenticeship programs. I think it's one of the things that most students don't know about. And this is going to be very interesting because I think a lot of times as students, you've been hearing us talk about college since you've been in grade school. And really what we're talking about is to prepare yourself for a good career. There are a lot of options after high school, and we just kind of call them all college, but there's a lot of different training programs and different training methods out there. While this comes through Palomar College, a lot of these programs are run as a partnership. And I will let her take it away and tell you all about what an apprenticeship is and why it's kind of like the other four-year degree.
Hi, everyone. It's still morning. It's been a very tough year, I want to say, working remotely and new for everyone, even for ourselves too. It's been very tough. But today I'll be sharing with you what kind of programs we work with. And to be honest with you, when I was a student in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had so many ideas, many ideas. I wanted to do one thing, then I would change my mind, want to do another thing. And that's completely okay. I mean, at that age, we're still kind of figuring out what we want to do after high school. I decided to go to college right after high school, Palomar College, to be more specific. I was a student there for about 4 years, got my associates, and decided to transfer to Cortez San Marcos to receive my bachelor's degree. And honestly, to be honest, throughout my journey when I was at Palomar, it was tough. It was tough in a way of, because I still was very undecided on the major. So I was kind of trying here and there. And I wasn't too involved as well, because I also worked. So I was going part-time to campus, and I was working part-time as well. So it would make it a little bit more difficult for me to get more involved on campus. So I didn't really know what apprenticeship programs were, that they even, had something like this, So I'll be sharing with you some information about the programs that we have. And yeah, they're different, but honestly, I do want to emphasize that it's such a great opportunity. Like I've seen so many new students want to be part of the apprenticeship, mainly because some of them are looking, and they emphasize that to me straight up front. Norma, I want to start working already, and I want to start making money right away. How do I do it? Then we go ahead and offer what we have and how long it's going to be. It's not a short program. Our programs run from 3 to 5 years. So it's a very full program, I want to say. So you have to be in it, depending on the program you decide to be part of. And you have to conclude the program. They're very strict as well, each training center. So I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint that I have with the presentation. And if you're free, do you have any questions, okay? So let me go ahead and share this right now. Can you all see that? Yeah, perfect. So Palomar College Apprenticeship Programs. I've given this presentation a couple of times before. I've been to Vista High School a couple of times before COVID hit. And I've been sharing this because it's another great opportunity if you're looking for, a more hands-on career. And this is something that will actually give you the opportunity to be more hands-on. So just quickly, I forgot to introduce myself, but I know Stephen did a great job introducing myself. So my name is Norma Villa Cortez, and I do work for the Apprenticeship Program. I'm actually going to be working for them for about 2 years now. At the beginning, I was just doing orientations. I used to work for another department with the college. So I knew a little bit, just the basics about apprenticeship program and how it worked. But once I moved to the apprenticeship program department, that's when I got more in depth with everything, what we have to do, how we're in partnership with training centers and how it works. Where do they go? Where do they do the application process? How does everything get started? Because one of the main questions is, oh, so I get to go to Palomar College, right? For these programs, you don't. You get to go to the training centers, which are located in San Diego, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Apprenticeship programs that we have available are these ones right here, like acoustical installer, carpentry, drywall, lather, electrician, plaster, sheet metal, sound technician, and teletransportation system. The one that is a 5-year program is always going to be under our electrical one, inside wireman, and our sound technician is going to be a 4-year program. For carpentry, it varies. Drywall, 3 years, carpentry, 4 years, okay? So it really depends what the student wants to pursue, okay? Like I said, we have 3 different training centers. We have the electrical, carpentry, and sheet metal. And they're all completely different as well, okay? Apprenticeship benefits, they get great benefits. So what I always like to let them know is like, think about it as a full-time job, because you're learning about this trade, but at the same time, you're working and you're receiving benefits. So dental, medical, and vision, which is really great. It's a whole bundle, which is good. Good starting wage, $17 an hour. That's the minimum they get started on. And every time they finish a semester, the section of classes, they get a little bit higher. So the more that you walk up the stairs, the better it's going to be for you, because you're gaining a lot of knowledge from everything that you're learning. And everyone that mainly all the professors that are teaching the courses, they were apprentices themselves too. So they went through the whole process, the same as a new student is going to go through. So they know what it takes. They know what it is to work with unions. They know, how long the process is. So they know everything, and they're well aware that there's going to be ups and downs, but they're always there to help them, okay? Pension starts occurring the first day they go to work, okay? So it's a great program. And not just because I work for this department, in general, to be honest, when I was in college, I wish I knew about the apprenticeship programs. But once again, I wasn't as involved on campus because I had other priorities at the time. So it didn't really allow me to get more involved and know a little bit more about what kind of programs or what kind of other options I had for me, okay? But now I'm here to share that with all of you. After you complete everything, you do receive a certificate from the college. So how it works, like Stephen said, we are in partnership with the training center. So when we heard about, oh, they're offering classes, apprenticeship classes, okay, they're union-based. Okay, how can we partner up with them? How can the college partner up with the training center? And all of this happened, the partnership happened way before I even started working there with the apprenticeship program. So once I found out that, okay, this is great, why don't we partner up and we give them college credit as well? So for every class that they take at the training center, we give them college credit. And that college credit, you can use it towards getting an associate's degree within the trade that you're currently working with. So for example, I'm just going to use myself. Let's say I decided to do carpentry, okay? All right, I go through the whole process. I get in, I finish my 4 years with the program. I receive my certificate of achievement from the college, but at the same time, I'm also going to be receiving one from the training center. But then I'm interested in receiving an associate's degree in carpentry. Can I do that? Definitely you can. The process is going to be a little bit different now because you already have completed all the units necessary for the certificate of achievement. So that is already completed. You can check that off. What can you do now? Okay, we put students in contact directly with the counselor at Palomar College. In order to get an associate's degree, you need 60 units. The counselor is going to look over your student records. They're going to see, okay, you completed a certificate in carpentry. You're emphasizing to me that you want an associate's in carpentry. Okay, now we're looking on taking general courses. One of the things that I like to tell students is make sure if you took classes somewhere else in another college and you already have college credit for general courses like English, math, science, because when you got out of high school, probably you decided to go to college right after high school, which is completely fine. Everybody does that. I did that myself. So I always let them know, have those units get transferred to the college, to Palomar, so they can count those units. So you can save some time, save money, and then you don't have to retake those classes again. So that's one of the great things about the program is not you just get a certificate and that's it. No, you can get an associate's degree. And many of them want to get a little bit of a higher education, mainly in this trade, because for them it's very important. They see themselves working in the office or being the ones in charge of a group, you know? So they really want to work their way up to get a little bit more education and have more than just a certificate. So that's the option. Apprentice will acquire journeyman status starting as 70K, which is really, really good. Usually when we start, you know, many of us, we decide to go part-time to school, and then also we have to work a little part-time job, and sometimes it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult to manage both. I mean, I did it myself, and it was not easy. I'm not gonna say it was a piece of cake, because it was not. It was tough, but I was able to get through it. It took longer than I expected. Usually someone that goes to a community college, it takes them 2 years to transfer. It took me 4 years. But once again, my situation was different, okay? Apprentice will obtain skills and knowledge for life. So pretty much everything that you learn, no one can take that away from you. Once you learn all of those skills, no one can take that away from you. Once learned, you're good to go. Unlimited opportunity for continuing growth. In this case, will be the associate's degree after the certificate. A rewarding and honorable career, all right? Carpentry, 4 years, as I previously mentioned, it's a 4-year apprenticeship program. Entry requirements, very basic, be at least 17 years of age, a high school diploma or GED, and complete an application for the program. How does this work? For every training center, this is how it would work. The student needs to get in contact with the training center for all of the application process, all the paperwork, everything that they need to get started. They need to get in contact with the training center. So if a student contacts me, emphasizing that they want to be part of a program, the first thing I'm going to ask is which program you're interested in. They say, okay, electrical, I want to do inside wireman. Okay, I pull up all the information from the electrical training center and I provide them that information. And the reason for that is because they have to do the application process with them. Everything has to be done through them. The only thing that I will require for them to do is the Palomar College application. So they have a Palomar ID number. So when those classes come to us, we give them college credit. If they don't have a Palomar ID number, or if they don't have an application on file with us, I'm unable to provide them credit because we don't have them on our records. So that's the only thing Palomar College asks from the student. Okay, in description of the program, very simple. Carpenters work with many tools and materials to build schools, erect skyscrapers, construction bridges, tunnels, and highways. So everything that we see out there, like the bridges, the highways, myself, I ask that question all the time, like, how do they build this? How do they do this, you know? And this is how they do it. So it all comes with a lot of great perks, which I really liked about the program. To be honest, like, I'm a very hands-on individual. So if I knew about this way before, you know, I would definitely have looked into the carpentry program because I'm a very hands-on person. I love anything that has to do with art, with anything that has to do with woodwork, anything like that, I really enjoy. So this would have been a great opportunity for me back when I started at Palomar. Electrician, inside wireman. Electrician is very popular, very, very popular. And the reason for that is because of the pay. The pay is really good. It's a 5-year program. So you have to be in it for 5 years. you have to dedicate 5 years to this program. They're very strict as well. Very, very strict. If they, for some reason, it's kind of like a job. I just want to say, you don't just, for school, sometimes if we feel sick or we don't feel well, okay, we'll miss a day, you know, it's fine. We'll miss a day, then we'll get in contact with the professor afterward. You know, was not feeling well, you know, wasn't able to attend class on Tuesday, for example. It's a Tuesday, Thursday class. I wasn't able to attend Tuesday, but I'm here. What did I miss? You know, for this, you have to let them know in advance. It's like a full-time job. You can't just not show up and not let them know that you're not showing up to work that day. So they take it very seriously. They're very strict. For this one, you can see the requirements are a little bit different. You must be 18 years of age to apply, high school diploma or GED, must show evidence of successfully completing this class, the NGATC math course, either completing the course or have your transcripts that prove that you've taken math courses. So one of the things that I always like to tell students, if you took higher level of math in high school, make sure to provide official transcripts for this part of the application. And the reason for that is, if you prove that you took, you know, algebra courses, or some of them even went up to calculus in high school. I didn't. I wasn't a math person myself, but some people have, and that can actually help you. You can actually opt out of taking the math one, the one that they offer. They check your official transcript. They see that, oh, this person qualifies, took X, Y, and Z number of years of mathematics in high school. That part is covered, okay? So this is the only program that requires a math test, okay? They do have the option to take the course. You know, they have to get a certain amount of, you know, certain number to pass. But if you have that to prove, if you have those transcripts to prove that you took certain amount of years of math in high school, why not turn those in? Okay, so that's one of the things that I always let them know. If you did, go ahead and show them. If you don't, it's okay. You can definitely take the course with them because it's through them. That's not a big problem. You can definitely do that. So that's just one thing I always like to let them know. For electrician, they have to take a math exam for that. Must show evidence of successful completion of 1 full year of high school algebra. There you go, with the passing grade. 1 posting high school course with the passing grade. So there you have it. If you have that to prove, turn it in. Turn it in. It will save you some time. And then complete the application process as well. For this one, they also have an interview process. So for this one, they're, like I said, they're very detailed on how they do their whole application, because it's not just the application, it's not just submitting, you know, your documents, but also you have to go through a whole interview process for it, like a job pretty much. So pretty straightforward. I understand at the beginning when I started kind of learning a little bit more about the program, I was like, whoa, it's very detailed, mainly for electrical. I want to know, like, why? Well, yeah, they're dealing with a lot of wiring, a lot of electrical, a lot of lights, you know, like the traffic lights, all of that. You know, how do those work? I still ask my questions. How do those things work? Do they have like a monitor or something that, you know, or a clock that, you know, has them turn on and off? But what happens when they don't work and they're just blinking? Like, you know, like who does that? Who maneuvers all of that, you know? So those are the type of questions I kind of ask myself as well too. And you learn all of that when you take the courses. And those courses are like, I've seen the names, I've never been in any of them, but I've seen the name of the courses and I'm like, electrical for mainly all of the courses. And I'm just like, whoa, this is some serious program. So to go ahead and jump to the other one, sheet metal, another option that you have, a 5-year apprenticeship program, again, at least 18 years of age, a high school diploma or GED. Those usually the age for the 3 centers, the only one that is lower is the carpentry, 17 years. For the other 2, it's 18 years. All 3 require a high school diploma or a GED. Take and pass a drug test. This is the only one that requires for you to take a drug test. take and pass a drug test. This is the only training center that will require that, which is a sheet metal. Passing grades in skills competency test or oral interview, okay? So once again, for this one is another interview. The description of the program refers to a metal that can be formed into flat pieces. So think about it, for sheet metal, usually like, metal, what am I gonna do with sheet metal? Will you work a lot with metal? Like the, when they build a classroom, there's a lot of vents going before you like when we walk inside a completed classroom, it's all covered out. We see the ceiling, we see everything, but under usually anything that is under that, it's all like the vent and where the air conditioning. So all of that you get to learn, which is really great. If any of you guys want to take either a picture, I don't think you can take a screenshot, or if you're able to, I know with Max, you're able to take a screenshot. Go ahead and take a screenshot or take a photo. This is the information for the 3 training centers. So we have the San Diego Carpenters Training Center, the San Diego Sheet Metal, and the San Diego Electrical Training Trust. So these are the 3 training centers that we are in partnership with. This is their information. As you can see, all of them are located in San Diego. I have been to the one in Miralani Drive, which is the Carpenters. For that one, before the whole virus situation happened, I was more active with the Carpenters training because I would go over and have them apply for the college and give them a very general information about the college. So go ahead, I'll give you like a minute or so you can take a picture of this. And then that way you can have this information if you're interested. This information, maybe you already have a mindset of, you know, I know what I want to do when I get out of high school. Great, that's fine. Maybe this information can be very useful for a friend, for a family member, for a neighbor. Maybe you know someone that has been doing carpentry for a long time, but they're not certified, or someone that has been doing electrical work for a long time and they're not certified. This information can be useful for them, okay? So just know that it's something that they can definitely take advantage of.
And we're recording the session today, so you're able to come back and refer to this again in the future. It'll be on the College and Career Canvas site. So again, if you know anybody who wants to get into this, and they don't have to be in high school, they could be after high school, or a friend or a family member and things like that, you can always point them back and have them watch the video here too.
Oh, yes. And then what we have, it's a pre-apprenticeship program. Pre-apprenticeship is before a regular apprenticeship program. So pre-apprenticeship there, I forgot to mention at the beginning, for all of the courses, for all of the 3 training centers, you don't have to pay for those courses. The only thing students might find themselves paying for is textbooks, and that's only if the professor requires to have a textbook. But because we are in partnership with the training centers, they don't have to pay for the apprenticeship program. So if you want to do carpentry, if you want to do inside wireman, if you want to do sheet metal, you don't have to worry about tuition. You don't have to worry about paying for those classes, okay? So that's one of the great things about the program. That's one of the main questions sometimes I get asked, like, how much is the program? Oh, you don't, if you get in, if you get accepted, you don't have to pay for the program. You're good to go, okay? For pre-apprenticeship, these are non-credit courses. For the other ones, you get credit. For this one, for pre-apprenticeship program, you don't get credit. They're non-credit courses. So pretty much these courses, what they do is prepare the student to get into a full apprenticeship program. The classes right now, we only have a couple of classes available, and that's because of COVID, unfortunately. They had to convert all of the classes online, mainly like the CPR courses, because they do come out of there with CPR certificate, first aid certificate, the OSHA certificate, and also in Palomar College certificate. So usually when everything is good to go and we're not in the middle of a pandemic, they offer the classes as Marcos Adult School. And they get hands-on experience, which is really great. I had 2 students that were interested on one of our regular apprenticeship program. but they were still deciding if that was something they wanted to do. So they went ahead and asked, do you have something like a pre-apprenticeship, something that I can get into and kind of get a feeling of how it's going to be? Because I do want to get into the full program, but I'm not 100% sure this is something I want to do. So I kind of want to try it out a little bit before I decide to get fully commit to a 4-year or 5-year program. Okay. And this is when pre-apprenticeship comes in handy. There's a total of right now 8 courses that we offer. And they touch a little bit on everything. Right now, we used to have the electrical and sheet metal. We don't because of the whole situation. So right now it's more carpentry. They're hands-on, pretty much all they do, hands-on. They learn essential skills, construction math, construction print reading, tools. So they do learn a lot of great information. And the good thing about being part of the pre-apprenticeship and completing, right now it's 8 courses, completing the 8 courses, students have a better chance to get into a regular apprenticeship program. So for example, there's 2 of me, right? And I decided to do pre-apprenticeship courses because I kind of want to know how it is and kind of get a feeling of what am I going to be working with. And then the other one decides to go straight into an apprenticeship program. You know, they don't want to do the pre-apprenticeship. It's fine. I have a better chance to get in, or at least to get put on front of the list to get into the program because I'm coming in with a lot of great things. I'm coming in with certificates already. The first aid, the CPR, OSHA. So I'm already coming in with those, you know, and I'm being referred by the professor who's also went through the whole process. He was an apprentice himself. He did the whole process. He worked and now he teaches. So I have a better chance to get into the program, or at least have a better opportunity to be put in front of the list from coming from apprenticeship courses. The apprenticeship program, as I mentioned, 8 courses related construction. We offer various location partnership with Palomar College. Like I said, they're usually offered at the San Marcos Adult School. Students come out of the program mastering 3 skills, very important skills, which are very important for anyone that wants to get into a regular apprenticeship program. Construction skills, communication skills, job readiness skills, which is really good, something you need to have. Once I said it used to be 10 courses. Right now, we have to cut it off temporarily. I know they're going to come back eventually. 8 courses for now. And if anyone is currently interested, I can always provide you the information for the instructor that teaches the courses because the semester already started. Okay. So for this one, if right now that you're in high school and you want to try taking a course, you can definitely do that. If you have the time, if your schedule allows you to add another class, like a college course, you just have to do the whole process with the college. If you're underage, meaning you're under 18, there is a form that you have to fill out in order to kind of have your parents sign off that, they give you permission because you're underage to take college courses, even though they're not credited, they're college courses. So they're being treated as college courses. So if this is something you want to do, just to kind of get a feel how it's going to be, if you're interested, you can definitely do that application process and then do the K through 12. That's the name of the form, called K through 12. You have to fill out the K through 12 so they can give you permission. Your parents have to sign it off, and then also the professor has to sign it off that you can definitely take the class. So the students come out of there with a certificate from completing the program, and that will be from the college, from Palomar College, certificate for first aid from American Red Cross, Occupational Safety Health Administration, which is the OSHA, and the certificate of CPR. If you're part of the pre-apprenticeship program, you don't have to pay for those certificates. If you decide to get those certificates outside of the program, like outside of the pre-apprenticeship program, you have to pay from your pocket. So that's one of the other things I let them know, like, hey, yeah, I took a couple of classes. Yes, you're not getting credit, but hey, you're coming out of there with like certificates that you don't have to pay out of pocket. you actually go through the whole process, you take the class, you take the test, and you don't have to pay for those certificates. So that's good to have. And many of them, having those looks really good when they apply for a regular apprenticeship program. Do you guys have any questions for me? Do you guys need me to go back to any of the slides?
Yeah, you can put questions in the chat or just open up a mic, either one. The one thing, while you're doing that, the one comment I'm going to make is that there's a lot of careers and occupations to which you don't necessarily go into college to train how to do them. You go into an apprenticeship program. And there's more than 22 different active apprenticeship programs here in San Diego. I think there may be more than that. And some of them are highlighted today here. Most of those occupations and trades are really looking for people right now. There's a whole lot of people who are retiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming out of the workforce and they're looking for people to replace them. And, you know, I guess, unfortunately, we don't talk about this enough. And a lot of people are, you know, they want to, like, they might be interested in being an electrician, but if you go up to Palomar College and you want to sign up to be an electrician, I mean, you're going to end up talking to their apprenticeship group, who's going to send you off to apply to apprenticeship program. So it's not like they have a major there in that. It's you can't go to college for everything. Right, and a lot of construction, industrial trades, and even high tech now. We had a group in earlier this week who are doing an apprenticeship program in software development. Right, so it's really for a lot of different things now, and it's again, these are great paying jobs. Right, they're not, you know, what people are like, oh well, construction doesn't pay much. No, it pays a lot. And we're talking construction in industrial settings, not just residential.
Oh yes, now that I'm gonna go ahead and share with you, now that you mentioned numbers, so they can kind of get an idea of how.
Yeah, and not only can you go on and have a great job and be a journeyman or go on to be a master of your trade, but a lot of people, once they're in it a while, many of them start their own business.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then they're making some serious money. So if you like the idea of working for yourself, this is also another great option to help kickstart that.
Oh yeah. So this is what I have, the median wage by occupation. This was last year, 2020. So as you can see, for carpentry, inside wireman, and sheet metal. As you can see, you know, it's a pretty decent number. And for when I was talking about inside wiremen and why for electricians is at least the electrician one is very popular, let me show you why. And usually when we have usually like in-person events, I provide this information because I kind of want to give them a visual how things work, and that way they know too. So let me share with you, and this is one of the great ones too that I like, is this one, because here we go. So just to give you a visual, this is for inside wireman, and so this is for inside wireman. So I have inside wireman and south technician. So as you can see, the one on the top, it's gonna be for sound technician, and they start making a little bit, as you can see, first 22, and it keeps going up and up and up. The highest they can get when they're about to journey out, meaning they have completed 100% of the program, they're already making $33.95. That's for some technician apprentices. Now let's look for inside wireman. They start off by $19 an hour, $19.6 an hour, and it keeps going up. When they're about to journey out, they're making $47. And once they're journeying out and they're certified, it's impossible for them to go below $47 an hour. So I'd like to bring the numbers up usually for this one, because I like how it projects how much they they start getting at the beginning, and every semester it goes up. So I saw a question on the chat. How it works is if they're not taking classes at the training center, they're working. If they're not working, they're taking classes. So usually they start them up with the classes. They go for a week to school. Usually is their training center location. And once they complete that set of classes for that week, then the next week they're gonna find themselves working. So they do a whole year of classes for them. This is how they break it down. They set it up for them for a whole entire year. Okay, the month of January, from let's say the beginning of January, they're going to be taking classes. They're going to come in once a week. For example, in January, we're going to see them only once a week, but they're going to be here from Monday through Thursday, from Monday through Friday, depending on the classes, depending if they do have a lot of new students, they're going to make sure they have enough space. So they're going to divide classes. Sometimes they go until Saturday. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they do go until Saturday. And once they complete that week of classes, they get a grade. And then after they're done, they start working again. And then the second round of classes come around, and then they have to once again take classes. They get for a week, they get a final grade, and then they go back to work. And that's how it works. So they're learning. That's one of the things I let them know. Yeah, you're going to be working, but you're also going to be learning about all of the things that you're going to be working with. And another, because I've been asked this a couple of times, like, how come Palomar College doesn't offer those classes? Because it's more beneficial for me to just go to the college. Well, the main reason for that is the college doesn't have the space to provide all the things the training center provides for them. So the training center has a section, a classroom section, but they also have a working area section where they build things. I can talk from experience, mainly the carpenters, I've seen it. They do have an area where they have their classes, like it's a classroom setting, like any other classroom. But if you go to the working area where they're actually practicing what they're learning in class, it's literally like a building, and it's all echo because you can see all the wires, you can see everything. They have their tools, they're working. And I'm just like, I can see the reasons why, because they have everything set at the training center. They have everything that the student needs, it's there. So that's why we don't offer those classes at the college, because we don't even have the space for that. We would have to do a whole thing. They have to build up a whole building specifically for sheet metal, for carpentry, and for the electrical. But since the training centers offer that for the students, everything is set up for them at the training center, then that's why we decided, let's just partner up with them, because they've been doing this for quite a while now. And not a lot of our apprenticeship programs are in partnership with the college. Not all colleges have apprenticeship programs. Like Palomar College has an apprenticeship program. I've been asked many questions. Oh, I go to this other college in San Diego, and do you know if they offer apprenticeship programs? Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you if they do. That's something they have to figure it out. So not all colleges offer apprenticeship programs and offer college credit too.
Okay. Unfortunately, we're going to run out of time here because the next session is going to start up in a couple of minutes. Sure. But thank you so much for coming today. And I hope everybody learned a little bit more about apprenticeship and how Palomar is your partner in that process. And I am sure we will have you guys back on campus again and for more events here in the future. Hopefully.
Let's hope. Aiming that probably next year it's going to be better.
Hopefully.
And, I'm more than welcome. And thank you so much, Stephen, for having me, over.
Yes, thank you for being here.
And I really appreciate it. Anytime we need to share information with new students, we're here, an extra option for them, that there's out there, as you mentioned. So we do have other options for them, not just the regular, that we're used to go to college, university, other opportunities, because maybe out of the whole group today, maybe there's one or two maybe 3 that are interested in the program, you know, and hey, that's something, you know, better than nothing. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. He does have my information. If you guys have any questions, he can just go ahead and ask them. He can send you my information and you can get in contact with me. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Sounds great. Thank you. Take care.